What's going on, guys? Tate Harmon the Hunter back with another video today. And today I'm going to be talking about a big buck that I just recently shot about 2 weeks ago. And I wanted to tell you guys the story and show some pictures of it. It's very interesting, and I really, it's the biggest buck I've ever killed, so I'm pretty proud of it. Okay, so starting off, we have about a 50-acre farm here where I live, and we have a lot of woods and brush on it. We have an open pockets of cornfields and some food plots that my brother planted with turnips to attract deer. Well, starting out this year about June, we hadn't been seeing anything big, nothing out of the usual, and all of a sudden, comes July, I got a really big buck on my trail camera. It was the widest buck I've seen on the property in a while. So I was like, oh cool, we've got a big buck, awesome. Well, time goes on and I never see him again. I'm like, oh well, shoot. I guess this wasn't his territory and he just moved on or something like that, I don't know. So I never thought anything else of it. And then later on we had a couple more bucks come on trail camera. My brother actually found a really nice one. It wasn't as big as the one I found, the wide one I found, but he ended up going after him, and archery season comes. He had an encounter with him and never could get in place to shoot him. So, that happens in archery season. It's really hard to hunt in archery season sometimes. So he gives it a break. He decides he wants to wait till muzzleloading season. Muzzleloading season comes out, and this buck comes back out again. Now keep in mind, this isn't the same one as the one I got on trail camera. But this big buck that he's seen comes back into play in muzzleloading season, and he has an encounter with him. So he sees it, he pulls up his muzzleloader to shoot, and he ended up missing it. God forbid it happens to all of us. I hated it for him, but he missed it. Ended up running on someone else's property, and a week after that we found out that somebody had killed it. Terrible story. Deer hunter's life, it's terrible, I know this happens to everyone. We just got to get over it, and I felt bad for him, I really did, but it just happens, nothing you can do about it. So rest of the year goes on, rifle season comes in. We still haven't seen really anything, nothing worth shooting. Thinking that the only good buck we ever saw was dead, and we probably weren't going to see any more bucks on the property till next year. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I decided to go out in the cornfield, and my brother, I said I'm going to sit in the blind in the cornfield, so he went hunting up top where the turnip field is, and I went down below in the cornfield. We're probably like about, 500 yards apart. So I'm watching this cornfield. We have a small doe come up about 3 o'clock. I get in the blind with my 30-30 Winchester 94, or to the Hunter Call the Wild fans, the 86 Whitlock. By far my most favorite gun of the game. So I'm sitting there watching the field. We got this doe out there. About 4 o'clock rolls around, still nothing else. 5 o'clock comes, another 2 does come in, and keep in mind it's getting dark. It gets dark about 6 o'clock here during the winter time after the daylight savings time. So sitting there, and it's almost pitch dark to where I can't see anything. Barely see through the scope. All of a sudden, I'm about to get out of the blind. All of a sudden, I look up, and here comes this doe just running in. I was like, oh God, she's running. There must be a buck behind her. And sure enough, here comes the buck that I saw back in June. Never saw him between June and then. Comes running up there after that doe. And I'm like, oh, holy crap, here he is. I've got my chance. It's barely dark. It's almost dark. Can barely see. And I throw up my Winchester I just barely see behind his shoulder. I go, get him stopped, you know, famous sound. He stopped, shot him right behind the shoulder, dropped him right there. I was like, oh gosh, this was amazing. This buck, never expected to see him, so it's a huge surprise to me. So, you know, I give it about 30 minutes and walk up and go get him in there. He just laying right there. So we scored him. He ended up scoring like 140s, which is pretty good for private land here in Virginia. So he ended up being 140, had a 20-inch spread and 9 points. And if you can see with the slideshow I'm showing, one of his brow tines is split, so definitely a very nice buck. But anyway, that's the story, and I named him Lucky afterwards. I should have named him when I first saw him, but I didn't. But anyway, so that's the story of Lucky, the buck I killed this year in 2020. And to all you other hunters out there, I wish you had as good luck as I did during rifle season, and or muzzleloading, late muzzleloading's coming up right now actually, so I hope you guys have good luck in that, good luck as I did. So that's gonna do it for this video today. Hope you enjoyed this new type of video. This might be a series that I'm about to start, so please give a like and subscribe if you liked it, and happy hunting.